Welcome back to RPI. For some of you, your last semester. For some of you, it's just another semester in a long line of semesters to come. But in any case, welcome back. Hope to see that you are all having a good time with your first week of classes, enjoyed your break, and that you're still feeling happy inside. Everybody still doing well? Show of thumbs, hands, applause, anything.
So happy.
Wow, come on guys, you've only been back 3 days. Skill, gotta be better than that, awesome. Little better, okay. All right, so first thing is we're going to go through standard agenda. There's no big items today. There will be a few items in the Grand Marshal report, but otherwise we're just going to go through things as clockwork. So the agenda has not been printed out because it's been a complicated day. But agenda, just to give you a reminder in case you didn't get it in the email, because I found out that my email apparently doesn't reach everybody sometimes, like in the Senate private thread that nobody got my response when I said, yes, there is a Senate meeting.
That was really just poor timing.
No. I actually responded, and then the next day it told me like, oh, your email got bounced. So I responded way earlier in the thread. So first thing is minutes approval. However, the minutes have not been sent, or maybe they were sent out at the end of last semester, but I'm pretty sure people aren't familiar with them. So does anybody object to us postponing the approval of the meeting minutes to the next meeting? Alrighty then. Okay, so committee reports, they're just going to go along the lines of telling us what people plan to do for the next semester while we wrap things up before GM week. So first up, if I recall correctly, is Rules and Elections Committee.
Okay, so the most recent R&E update involves a proposal we've received regarding the current voting system. I brought this up a few weeks ago, vaguely, but the proposal basically suggests an instant runoff voting system, which involves ranking candidates in order of preference as opposed to just choosing one from each section. So I was provided a more detailed memo, but I have to go over it with Marcus first, and I'll definitely talk about it next week, but it's kind of iffy right now. And that aside, GM week, we are getting ready for that. That's all I have for now.
Any questions, comments, concerns on the report? Okay, so we'll hear more about the instant runoff voting next week. And next comes Student Government Communications Committee, which currently does not have a chair. So, update on the status of that is that I haven't gotten responses from the people over break who were interested, and I tried to email everybody. So I need responses by the end of this week, and then we'll have a new committee chair by the next meeting. And that person will just have to run straight into things as we're going with them. So if you are interested, please email me one more time so we can set up interviews. Send me a time that you're available, and we'll get that knocked out. And if you're okay with 3 a.m. interviews, please let me know because I will be awake. Next is Tommy. Hey, give your report.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just kidding. All right, Academic Affairs Committee report with Spencer.
All right. So a couple things since we last spoke. The last meeting. For the URP research website overhaul, we are in the process of trying to get faculty to update their pages so that when a student goes through the new URP website that's being set up and is trying to find faculty to work with, the information presented by the faculty members is accurate and making sure that the faculty still has their active research interests posted, which admittedly they don't change often, but it makes it a lot more accessible for students and even external people from RPI to get in contact with people when all the information's up to date, new publications, new research thrusts, all that stuff. Over the break, the committee compiled looked at every single faculty page and tried to figure out, when was it last updated, and it's been a while for some of these people. I don't know. So we're working at least initially within the School of Engineering and hopefully through the whole school or the whole institute to make sure everything's up to date. And for the fellowship project, we've gotten a list of all the fellowships that the school, the whole institute currently promotes, and all the information we have on that, like deadlines, who's eligible, when does it typically due, what's the award. Not sure when that was last updated, so I think our next big thrust is going to be to make sure that we go through that, make sure all that information is accurate for at least this year. And we're working with Sod O'Brien in the School of Engineering to really work on that program we were talking about of getting successful fellowship winners in contact with the people who are running these workshops, which isn't always happening, and making sure that we have the most impactful workshops that we can. So working on getting a list of that right now. To follow up on that. But other than that, AAC will be meeting 8 to 9 on Tuesdays in the SGS library.
Questions, comments, concerns on AAC's report?
Just to confirm, you said SGS library? Sorry.
Yes. Thank you, by the way, Justin.
No problem.
All right, next, UAR. Yeah, I got this. I've done this a few times. UAR, Ken.
So we've been working over break to get together the written portions of the document. So we have, budgeting timelines, the income, the expenses, all of that broken down. So those are in pretty good standing right now. We're meeting this Saturday to go over those sections and put in any final edits. Right now we're waiting on the approval of the budget from the e-board and getting those. Once that the appeals process is done, then I can get the numbers from Martha and we can put together a report. So I think we should have one by next week, but that's probably optimistic. But I'm feeling pretty confident it's going to be done pretty soon.
All right, any questions on UAR? All righty then. Next, we have FSC with Michael Hahn, and can you also do HSAC's report since Joe isn't here?
Yeah. So FSC, we have a lot. Actually, we don't have like that many. I guess we have We Are Gold updates. So water bottles was approved as a We Are Gold. Austin's been working on that, so we're going to continue that. The tables for the McNeil room was not approved as a We Are Gold project, so we need to figure out what we want to do with that project moving forward, / go into a different project, something like that. So that's what FSC is going to be doing this coming semester. HSAC, I'm not too sure what they're doing because Joe is still working on the proposals, but those have been finalized. So for now, it's more of working with hospitality services on any concerns that students have. So that's it. Oh, FSC is tomorrow, Thursdays at 7 p.m. in the SGS. HSAC, I don't believe has a time yet.
All right, any questions on FSC and HSAC? Yes.
Okay, so this isn't a question, more of a comment, but for water bottles, for the fundraising, we moved the deadline to February 12th, just because with finals and stuff, a lot of clubs were having issues meeting with their members and raising the money. So we did extend that, so if any clubs you guys know of are interested, let me know. They still have time to buy water bottles and be a sponsor for that project.
All right, any more comments, questions, or concerns? Yay, nay? All right. Next, we have Student Life Committee with Paul, who is currently not here.
He sent me an update. Made some benchmarking progress over break. I don't know what. And he'll be meeting with the RSA president to discuss Res Hall improvements report part 3. And that's all he sent. And meetings are Thursday at 8 in the SGS.
Meetings when?
Thursdays at 8 in the SGS.
Question, comments, concerns, suggestions for SLC? Yes.
Comment, I don't know how many of you have checked out Senate's budget, but we got funding for half the shuttles for next year. So it's pretty good. And they're going to work with auxiliary services to get the other half funded.
All right. Next goes to last but certainly not least, web tech.
All right. Okay, got a couple things to say. First off, we've been having some issues with the shuttle tracking service. The service has gone down 3 times in the past 24 hours. We believe it's a hardware issue, but we're not sure. I'm working with the VCC to determine what's going on, because that's the one service that's hosted in the VCC. More on that once I figure out what the issue is. Concerto is also going through updates. Flagship is also going through updates. On the project development side, we got a lot of progress done on the election site. I would put it at about 75% completion right now. So we're just getting some of the more fine-grained workings on it, and it should be done hopefully by mid to late February. We also are working with VP for Enrollment Management, Jonathan Wexler, to produce a self-guided tours application for admissions. This is a recent development that started over break, and I'll be meeting with VP Wexler towards the end of February, along with the person who's going to be leading the project, a guy named John Benke, good guy. And that's the extent of web tech for right now, but there's more on the way.
Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for Web Technologies Group?
Do you have a meeting time yet?
Oh, yes, sorry. Wednesdays at 3 p.m. in the SGS. So today.
I just wanted to comment that I can see full file names in Flagship, so I'm very happy that that update has gone out.
Wednesdays, 3 p.m.
You don't have to do like the weird mousing over, hovering and waiting for it to. Nice.
One more thing I can add in is that if you guys are struggling to use Flagship right now, it is working on Chrome. Firefox and Internet Explorer not so, are a little bit iffy right now. So if you need Flagship in the moment, just use Chrome. It should work as expected. Sorry? Safari I haven't tried yet. I should probably try that. Yeah.
On what?
Considering it's WebKit, it should be fine, but we'll see.
This guy.
All right. Next, we move on to our constituent reports. First, with the executive board.
Okay, so eBoard did budgeting. So we spent some time over the winter break. I think we did athletics after our last meeting. So we did the athletics budgeting, the admin budgeting, and all the general club budgets. So those are completed. They're out. Appeals had to be submitted by noon today. So I think we only had a couple. So we'll be hearing those at tomorrow night's meeting. And then we'll be putting together the UAR. I can't give you like the actual numbers yet, but I do want to let you know that pretty much everything had an increase, but we stayed within the I think we weren't allowed to go above 2.5% this year. So there are a lot of good projects that were funded for the clubs, and we had a very successful budgeting section. So, yeah.
Questions, comments, concerns about the e-board? All right, and when does the e-board meet this year?
It's still Thursday at 8. I don't know what the room is yet, though. So.
Pretty sure you're just showing that.
I think it's still showing up, yeah.
All right, next we have the graduate council.
I'm reading a list right now. So what do we do? We are Gold Project as well. So we're competing actively against Michael Hahn and his projects. Our project is actually just to take money from Michael Hahn's group. I don't know why that was chosen, but thank you, Michael. What else are we doing? We meant to do our graduate research symposium, which we're going to hold our first annual one on May 14th. It's going to happen no matter what, hopefully, and 100% guaranteed. And it's going to be open for all grad students to present their work and have a big focus on alumni. What else did we do? We had a Winter Grad Fest. Mueller Center helped co-sponsor an event here for families, and there's a bounce house. It's pretty fun.
Can you repeat that last part?
Bounce house.
Where
Winter Grad Fest.
Winter Grad Fest. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone's there. Everyone's around. Oh, we had our wine and cheese night, I guess, after we finished Senate. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was good. People had wine. Then also there was cheese.
They ran out of wine.
There's a taco thing next week if anyone wants to get tacos. I know you all hate tacos. If you're a graduate student. I think we're pretty much.
That's the Oh, we had a hockey night too.
Well, we had a hockey night. That was good. It was well attended. We won because of the grad students, I was told afterwards. They let us play for a while. Oh, we raised $200 for diabetes awareness as well.
$3?
$200. Yeah, thanks. We raised how much? $200.
Yeah.
Bounce house.
So just a suggestion for an event, I think you should do a wine and cheese night with a bounce house. Like,
No.
That's such an undergrad thing to say.
Management would say no.
Well, no. I think that they will juxtapose each other nicely.
Let's just have All right. Anything else from the grad council?
Oh, you have a question?
What is the We Are Gold project?
Oh, I think I described it pretty well, actually. I'll go into further detail. For this year's symposium we're trying to do on May 14th. It's going to be our first test out, right? And then from then on, we're going to see if we can get some funding for We Are Gold, so alumni can support this alumni-focused symposium. So this year we have support from the graduate experience budget, but I'm not sure if we always have that budget. So this hopefully will keep it going for a while when we all leave and die of old age.
They'll fund it through extra fees.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think next year we'll be able to pay $25,000, but we'll have a symposium, so it's okay. And that's it, right? I think
So, undergrads cannot go to check out the symposium?
So it's a grad-focused symposium, but we have not established how undergrads will be involved in it. I'm not going to say you can't come. We're still in the process of making it, but it will probably be a graduate proposals and on oral talks and posters. But I've not figured out how we're going to involve the entire school yet. It's still in my stages. You can come no matter what.
Thank you.
What about the rest of us? All right. Next
Just
report
Joshua.
comes from CJ. There you are.
All right. For those of you who don't know me, my name is CJ Markham. I am the newly elected Creek Senator. I was elected with 2 weeks left of the semester last year, so I haven't really been to any meetings or anything. As far as from the IFC goes, the big updates I would have from IFC is that we're pushing more towards a larger spring recruitment period because of the way the school has been acting towards us recently. That they want to push more towards spring instead of fall. So our recruitment period this semester is 3 weeks instead of 2. That's also a reflection from the poor recruitment we got from the fall. But other than that, we're going to be working, I know a lot of the IFC guys have been working with the school, trying to get all the issues worked out, find out what their issues are with us, basically. Other than that, I don't really have any updates. We haven't had any meetings yet this semester, so.
Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions?
Greeks outside right now? Yes. That is currently Meet the Greeks going on in the
All right.
Yeah, we've decided we're going to go Greek.
Go for it. Go for it. Please do. All right. Next, we have Panhal.
Nothing, we haven't met yet.
All right. So, questions, comments, concerns on Panhal?
When are you meeting? When are you meeting?
Oh, Mondays at 8. Don't know the location.
Actually, question: what happened to the money?
What happened to the money? Some of it got put into, it got pushed into this semester to do like a newbies and seniors hangout thing. And then we also started a scholarship so that we can send a girl to a leadership conference like every summer. So that's where the money went.
Awesome. All right, so questions, comments, concerns? All right, so next is special orders. So I will, all right, yeah, please take a seat because I have not gotten any messages to indicate otherwise from what was currently planned, unless I read the email wrong and it was next week, in which case I apologize.
Meeting adjourned.
And that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Someone said it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you said those words in that order.
No, actually I have not used that second word at all today in the last 2 weeks.
Can we inquire about this?
Wait, why did you say it 3 weeks ago?
What?
You said
I said it 3 weeks ago. All right, so everybody, so for the time being, we're going to move on with our meeting, and then we'll come back to the special orders section if it becomes applicable. So I don't recall any unfinished business that we have to address this meeting, and unless anybody has something that I forgot. All right, so any new business that anybody would like to bring up?
Stealing your printer paper.
All right, so
Yeah, there's definitely.
There's no new business.
He's got a very small.
all right, I looked over and you were pointing at Tim, so I couldn't tell if I hand up.
That's fair. There's also the school discussion. I'm not sure how to phrase this. You don't have anything in, right? For this? Awesome, cool. I'd like to see if we could, so it's not a formal motion then. Joshua's not here, I can do it. I'd like to have a Senate letter drafted to Joe Cassidy. I think that'd be really nice. He's supported us in the past for a lot of things. He's been here every single meeting, and I think it'd be nice to acknowledge him and the support he's given us.
I said RIP. All right, so I was about to, that's what it's going to be about in the ground marshal report.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it on the agenda. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I intentionally didn't put it on the agenda because I didn't want it to be.
Fine, so I can hold off on my new business.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss it.
All right, so Grand Marshal report. So one of the things that happened over break, and did everybody receive my email about this? Okay, so this is redundant for you guys, but for the purpose of the fact that this is our first General Body meeting, to bring it up, is that over break became public that Joe Cassie is no longer an employee of RPI. It is against HR policy to discuss anything regarding this. So I don't want to hear any rumor milling or libel going around about this. Joe has been a great resource to me personally and to the Senate for a long time. And I expect everybody to, as a human being, as a student, and as a senator, to respect somebody else's privacy and to make sure that you're acting in a way that you can be proud of for the next few years. So, any questions?
Can he still hang out with us?
That's up to his schedule. So now,
the invitation's open.
Since I don't want to be stealing your thunder,
You can do it. I don't
no,
think.
I think you were saying it better. So, but yeah, I'm kind of rambling. So, all right. So I think that it would be nice if we were to come together and send a letter to Joe saying thank you for the work that he's done with us. He's been very helpful between, simple things like different documentation that has to happen for Senate to do anything financial, to learning new things about summer arch and find out who to talk to, when, where, why, how, what's their schedule, who I should talk to, who I'm supposed to talk to, who I'll actually get something done if I talk to them instead. All these little things that have really saved weeks on the back end of different Senate work and different Senate projects. So I don't want to do a formal motion because one, I can't, and two, I don't want to do a formal motion yet until the letter is fully drafted. But if anybody is interested in working on this, please let me know after the meeting or whenever you feel is convenient for you, so that way we can bring it up at the next meeting. Next is there was an issue that was raised over break regarding accessibility to West Hall for different students. So right now, I'm not interested in having this be a full-blown Senate project because I would like to see what the administration does with it first and then handle it because this would be
Go back really quick, which is this again? Sorry, I switched.
ADA.
Okay.
I can't remember the full abbreviation,
Yeah.
but all right.
Americans with Disabilities Act of something.
See, not the full abbreviation. All right.
I forget what year.
So, again, my reasoning for this is that this is a significantly legal matter, and last I checked, none of us are in graduate school for law, and I don't think that we should be delving into something like this without fully understanding the situation first. So I say that we let it play out for a while, see what the administration does, and if the administration does not act satisfactorily, then we can step in and see what needs to be done. Any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions? Yes.
Has the Institute come out with anything as far as that last part?
Not that I'm aware of yet. I was expecting something within the first week of classes. Yes.
So the issue is it's not like as accessible as it should be.
It's not wheelchair accessible.
There's
Okay.
a couple of classrooms, not
There's
more than
like
a couple.
several buildings.
And another factor for West Hall is that it is marked as a historical site, so modifications to the building infrastructure are highly frowned upon and hard to get, the proper licensing and certification for.
So just in case you missed it, the issue is not necessarily that West Hall is not accessible, it's that the school, at least as reported on Reddit, is refusing to move a class for a student in West Hall who cannot access that classroom is the bigger issue, or the current issue. So that's where this is coming from. Not just that West Hall is not accessible, it's that there's a class in West Hall with a student who can't get to it, and they won't move it.
That's an issue.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right. Next, report on polos. They're on their way.
Jess just said no.
Marcus, they have been ordered?
No, don't get ahead of yourself.
Okay. So the two I didn't read is that we're bad at spelling and reading. So tiny little differences in emails means emails don't get sent to people, which means that you wait on a response from a brick wall. So those don't tend to talk back to you. So that's all that's coming off the top of my head for the Grand Marshal report. Yeah. So, raise your hand if you have something immediately preceding the Senate meeting time.
Oh. Everyone else is just like.
Who has a class, like job, anything like that, that ends at 7?
Oh, yeah, that would be.
All right. So I see about 8, 9 hands, maybe. Forgive me for my counting ability.
That was about like 3.
So, who would be interested? No, it's okay. Who would be interested in moving the Senate meeting time to 7:15 for this semester? So that way it would give people more time to set up and get ready for this meeting if they immediately have something proceeding. Does that really bother anybody else's schedule? Okay. Note that that also means that at 9:15, if we have to go over, it's not we've been in here for 2.5 hours or whatever. It's we've been only
2 hours and 15 minutes.
I don't. Wow. I'm sick. No, I haven't. I might try testing. So that's the way things are currently, and if you'll excuse me for one moment, I'm going to check my email to make sure that I am not wrong with what I sent everybody earlier based on a date that I was given, because it's perfectly possible again for me to mess this up, because I am human, but, despite popular belief. This is 3602, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep, all right. Everything on my end was done right. Yes, that's right. That being said, How was everybody's break? I mean, like, anybody have any fun, interesting stories that they totally want to say on camera? that hand went down really fast.
I can legally try to cover everyone.
Wow.
Say that louder.
Yeah, make all of RPI envious of your sea turtle adventures.
I swam with sea turtles and barracuda.
Where did you do this?
In Virgin Islands.
Was a wild drinking water.
It was fun.
Anyone else have anything they want to talk about while we are stalling here texting Dr. Ross?
I have a big
Wow, I don't point it out like that, do we?
Is anyone not here, just for the sake of minutes?
Joe Vanisto.
Paul.
Paul. Okay.
Mike Kayola is not here, that's what it is.
Where is this? That explains so much.
And look for his signs out.
Guess I know who just is.
He's talking to the person.
Is that it?
Wait, Justin.
Paul and Joe.
Paper due like 4.5 hours that I started writing, so
That's your own fault.
He's doing these to Greeks, I think.
it is my own fault, but I still gotta deal with it. So get snappy on this. I had to watch The Bachelor last night. It was such an awesome newer than like Don Juan's watching that shit. But that
One last note to everybody. One last note. So normally, Joe Cassidy was our advisor for Senate. In the time being, a lot of the stuff in the admin office has been split amongst the team. They're a great team. They've had years of experience helping students, and that's their only job. Yes, the union is still student-run. It will stay that way for as long as I live, unless I have to come back as an angry alumni. And now we will be working primarily with Cameron. She's going to be the one that's helping us with Senate. So she's going to take, next week to really get up to speed with what we're doing. I've already met with her a few times. And if you have any questions regarding anything that you normally would have asked Joe, ask Cameron. And again, all the admin office is working together as a team to make sure that everything gets taken care of. The union has been without a director before for 2 years and will be perfectly fine.
2 years at the position.
Position is kind of tricky to fill. You got to find somebody that's right for the job. All right. In any case, I have not got to this one. So, could you motion for a 10-minute recess?
Motion for a 10-minute recess.
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor of a 10-minute recess, please raise your hands.
We're just waiting to see.
We're trying to wait for Dr. Ross. 1, 2. Raise your hand and raise them high. Extend your elbow. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I feel like I'm being singled out.
20. We got 20.
What was the vote count?
Honestly, feels so.
We're not done yet.
Wait, so are you?
All those opposed? All right.
Write this paper.
10-minute recess, 20:0.
That means you should be back in this room at 7:50 p.m. 7:50.
So, for the record, Dr. Ross was not making any sort of presentation or anything like that. His main purpose was coming to understand how we actually operate as the Senate, get to see a Senate meeting, and get to know you guys better, make sure he's a resource to all you people that are going to be here a lot longer than some of the other people here. So hopefully we'll be able to have him at a Senate meeting in the near future, so that way he can get to know you guys a lot more and you guys can talk to him about various things, not only for Senate stuff, but about you as a student, because let's face it, this is not the only thing you do, most likely. That being said, something that I've been talking to Cameron about is if there's other opportunities, like if the union is hosting some sort of program and looking for people that are interested in this sort of subject matter, please let me know if you're interested in picking up things like that. So let's say, for example, if there's some sort of thing the union's doing and they're introducing physics concepts to, actually this is a real example. They're introducing physics to elementary school, middle school kids, and then there's somebody who's in physics interested. So, Jenna, would you be interested in helping out with that, for example? Like those sort of things, I think that are going to be really beneficial and help people understand that this isn't the only thing that we do, that we actually have, you know, majors that we're investing our time, effort, and money into. Other than that, anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns in general about Senate, about this next semester? I know it's not a particular item on its own, but yeah, anybody have any questions?
My answer is no, I hate children.
All the grad students hate children.
It's on the
Sure. All right. Kids are great. Any questions from the audience, reporters?
Press is here.
Press. That's the word escaped me for a brief moment. All right. Well, in that case, meeting is ended. I still haven't said that.